So good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the 2020 College of Engineering Homecoming Celebration. And my name is Nelson Peeler. I'm the current president of the Engineering Foundation and I'm an NC State EE alum. And I think we have a very exciting program for you today. While certainly we'd all like to be together in Raleigh, I think that we've got some really exciting things today to share, and I hope you'll enjoy those. But before we get started with the program, I would like to just give a few quick tactical tips for you as we work through this. So you are all on mute, so if you try to talk, we won't hear you. However, we do have a chat feature that you can utilize to ask questions during the presentation. That's in the right-hand side of your screen. And later in the program, you'll be able to use that same feature to interact with our trivia game. So with that, I would like to introduce Griffin Lamb. Griffin serves as the Assistant Dean for Development and College Relations, and she is the Executive Director of the NC State Engineering Foundation. Griffin has led the Engineering Foundation team in continued pursuit of raising funds for Fitzwillard Hall, which you can see behind me, departmental support, scholarships, and professorships in the College of Engineering. And most recently, during this year with the pandemic situation, has led the focus in the Student Emergency Fund that has been key in supporting our students during this very challenging time. So with that, I'd like to introduce Griffin Lamb. Go ahead, Griffin.
Thank you, Nelson, and good morning, everyone. Much like our students and faculty, the Engineering Foundation team has adapted to stay in touch with our alumni and with you. And I'm delighted to share with you today that your college is doing much more than just making do when it comes to alumni engagement and fundraising. Your college is rallying alumni support from all corners of the Wolfpack community. In fact, for the second year in a row, engineering won the prize for most out-of-state gifts during Day of Giving. Not only that, but engineering also won the prize for most number of gifts. This kind of enthusiasm and teamwork has been on display for years now as part of the Think and Do the Extraordinary campaign. There is perhaps no better indication of the strength and generosity of the engineering alumni and friends community than what I'm about to share with you. This is where we'd have a drum roll if we were all together. It is my honor to share that the College of Engineering has reached its ambitious $230 million Think and Do the Extraordinary campaign goal. I know this format does not allow for a group cheer, but I hope you will clap with me. For those of you who can see and hear me right now. You often hear a number associated with a campaign, but in my opinion, campaigns are about something more. Our alumni engagement and fundraising programs are intended to provide everyone with an opportunity to participate. This is about being part of something bigger than yourself and helping your college flourish. I love that the meaning and image of the Wolfpack underscores this. And while we have hit an extraordinary milestone, there is no final chapter to what a strong alumni and friends network can accomplish for our students and faculty. I've been told engineers love data, so let me share a few points of pride about what this generous Wolfpack community has accomplished during this campaign. 20 new professorships, 136 new scholarships for our students, and best of all, over 12,000 donors, alumni and friends of the college alike, to this effort. There are many people to thank and credit for this success, but today I want to focus on our volunteers. Our college has volunteers in every department and program, and those volunteers have been essential in promoting the needs of our students and faculty, not to mention the hours spent donating their time. To the members of the Engineering Foundation Board, thank you. Thank you for wearing your engineering pride wherever you go, and for leading by example with your generosity. when Fitzwillard Hall officially opens behind us, we have a beautiful donor wall that celebrates the philanthropy of this college and everyone who made this vision behind us possible. Speaking of vision, cheering on every gift that brought us to this goal is our dean, Dr. Louis Martin Vega. Dean Louis, as he is known to most of us, is the 8th dean of the college and has held that role since 2006. Under Dean Louis' leadership, the college has seen significant growth in its size, the quality of its students and faculty members, its national reputation, and the breadth of its research program. He has placed a particular emphasis on making this college a welcoming and inclusive environment for all. That has led to needed progress recruiting women and members of underrepresented groups, both as students and into faculty positions. Under Dean Louis, the college is consistently ranked in the top 10 nationally among engineering schools in research expenditures and became one of only 2 schools to lead 2 National Science Foundation engineering research centers at once. Please join me in welcoming Dean Louis.
Thank you, Griffin, very much. I appreciate your kind words. And let me extend my welcome to everybody who's joining us. Instead of what would be the homecoming of having you come home to NC State, we're coming into your homes, right? But we understand that this is the situation we're in, and at the same time, we really appreciate that you're taking the time to stay connected with us at this moment. Now, I'm really excited that the university has been able to continue our Red and White Week activities. We'd much rather have you again on campus, as Nelson had mentioned, but nonetheless, celebrating this university and our college and everything that we do is really crucial and important. And we hope we're reaching out to you in the right way. I want you to know that even though it's been a very difficult 8 months now for our college, ever since this pandemic took hold, and we pivoted literally on what I would call St. Patrick's Day. It was March the 17th that all of a sudden everybody had to leave the campus. There has been a great deal of progress and a lot of positive developments in this year, and I'll share a little bit of that with you. When we had to pivot, when the pandemic really took hold in March, the university made the decision to move all the classes to virtual instruction. This was not an easy task, certainly not for our faculty and our students, but because there had been a number of offerings that we had, especially in our graduate programs, all of our master's degrees have been offered online for many years. It sort of helped us through that pivot in many ways. And since that time, our faculty has tried the best it can to offer our students the best quality, rigorous instruction that they can provide, albeit, in this remote mode. And so I'm just very proud of the effort that they have made. I'm extremely proud of the effort of our students and how everybody has rallied to this and worked together. And we've tried to provide as much as possible the educational continuity that is really critical. It allowed our students who were graduating in spring to graduate, our students to continue and make their progress toward their degrees, which is at the end of the day, our primary commitment. During the summer, courses continued online, but we were able to gradually bring back our research activities. We had to continue with limits on the number of people that we had in our labs, spacing requirements, masking requirements, all the protocols that are still in place, actually, that we hope and urge everybody will adhere to as we try to work our way through this. Our engineering summer camps were done virtually. That was an interesting experiment for us. We reached out across the state with teachers across the state, and it turned out that we learned a great deal from that. And I think in the future, we'll be able to reach areas in the state virtually if we can't go there in person. And other activities like our engineering career fairs have also been done virtually. And so that's provided continuity for our students in terms of seeking their jobs and internships. Over the summer, plans were also made to try to see how we could move in at least to some degree in person in the fall. But as you probably are aware by now, unfortunately, that didn't happen. We tried, I think, for a couple of weeks, but there were too many positive cases on the campus. It just became a necessary but very difficult decision to move undergraduate courses back online and send most of the students off campus. So that was a big challenge. That's what we're working through. As we look at the spring, obviously the situation with the virus is not gotten any better, unfortunately, but we've learned from what happened in the fall. A lot of measures are being taken to see if we can bring back a reduced number of students, maybe about 4,000 students on campus, increase significantly the testing protocols, contact tracing, a lot of the things that are needed to see if we might be able to carry our way through this a little bit better than we did before. So that's kind of where we are right now. And, we've adjusted as much as we can to carrying out the activities that really are the key to what we do in our college. Again, the focus on our students and their education. Now, over the summer, one of the things that was good news was the fact that construction activities did not stop. So that allowed the work on Fitzwillard, the new engineering building, to continue. And as Nelson has pointed out, it's right in his background. And when he was there, and I'm just going to lean down a little bit, make sure that everybody sees very clearly the other side of Fitzwillard building. And there it is on Centennial campus. It's our newest engineering building. We're gradually moving into it. Our departments of industrial engineering and civil engineering are starting to occupy our labs. And it's just great that that has continued and we were able to make that happen. So we have taken occupancy of that building formally as of late July. We know we're planning to have a celebration at some point in 2021, and that will be a great moment. Now, again, Fitzwillard, which now allows us to have 8 of our 9 departments on Centennial campus, really was a result of a private-public partnership. The bond referendum, the Connect NC bond that went out across the state, has provided support for about half of that building. And the university provided some additional support, but it's been many of you that have been the ones that have assisted us in raising close to the $60 million that we needed in private philanthropy to make this happen. Even though the building itself hasn't been totally completed, we have some work inside, but we're occupying it. Our fundraising efforts also are continuing. We have a gap still of about $11 million that we're continuing to work on. So if you haven't made a commitment, we urge you to consider doing this. We certainly welcome your help. We appreciate all the support that we've received. And what we want to do is close this building out in such a way that we won't have to finance it in any other way. But we are very grateful for the support that we have. And as Griffin mentioned, we're going to have donor walls and recognitions for everybody who's contributed to this. I think we have well over 300 alumni that have contributed to the Fitzwillard. So there's spaces available for naming. There's other opportunities associated with this. I'd encourage you all to contact our development folks to follow up. Now, there were events this year. I'm talking specifically about those that took the lives of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery and others that really shone a light on what I believe is really one of the deepest and most profound challenges that's faced by our country. We're talking about racial injustice and especially the enormous toll that it has taken and continues to take on the hopes and aspirations and lives and welfare of our African-American colleagues and friends. As a result of that, we have taken actions. We have been moving forward in ways to try to better understand the things that we have not understood nearly as well. And I've urged every person in our college, our faculty, our staff, our students alike, to really make it our highest priority to work as hard as we can to better understand the unfair realities and the biases that are part of the daily life and experiences of our Black and underrepresented minorities in this country. I think we all need to understand that actions speak much louder than words. And I've asked our department and unit heads to commit themselves in an even greater and more purposeful way to the sustained recruitment and retention of a much more diverse faculty and staff. We have made great progress in terms of increasing the number of women faculty that we have in our college and the women students that we have. I'm very proud of that. But we have not nearly made the progress we need to make in terms of our underrepresented minority faculty and our students. And my strong feeling about this is that if we really want a more diverse and inclusive college, we have to start at that level. We have more women students today, I think, because we have more women faculty. And if we want to create greater understanding and greater empathy, we have to take time to really try to understand what this means, especially those of us that have not been affected nearly as much by this as others. I'm firmly convinced that we will never be the College of Engineering that we can and should aspire to be unless we can make this happen. One of the actions that we have taken is that we have a new position within our College of Engineering that I think is a crucial addition to our leadership staff. I'm talking about the appointment of Ms. Angie Daniel, who is currently Director of Minority Engineering Programs. Angie is now also our Special Advisor to the Dean for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Initiatives. As a Special Advisor, we're going to call on Angie to provide us with advice, guidance, assistance, and recommendations to us, to me, and our college regarding initiatives that we should be moving forward. And this includes the development of an enhanced strategic plan, a diversity strategic plan for our college to ensure a more supportive and inclusive work, teaching, and learning environment. So that is one step that we're taking. Angie has already assumed this role. We have a committee associated with it. But again, I ask each and every person in our college to take it upon yourselves to understand that this is something that we all need to work with and work on together. So in closing, let me just thank each and every one of you for taking the time to be with us today in this virtual event. It's your love and your passion for the college that motivates us. It motivates and sustains us who work here as we keep moving forward, even within the midst of this pandemic. We rely on your support to help us make not only a very good college, but also a very great college. We are very preeminent among our peer colleges of engineering in the country. We're proud of that. We hope that you are as well. And I want you to know that we are doing everything possible to make sure that our students and our faculty and staff are safe during this time, and as conditions improve, assure that we come back as a college much stronger than ever. So again, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoy the rest of the program. I thank everybody who's organized this, and may everybody enjoy the rest of Red and White Week, and go full Wolfpack. We've got a football game tomorrow night. Let's see if we can take them over the top on that as well. Right? There we go. Thank you very much. Griffin, thank you. And I'm just going to pass it back now to the program. Nelson, right?
Yeah, Dean, thank you for your remarks and for the updates that you provided to us and for being with us today. And really, most importantly, thank you for your passion for the college and for your strong leadership. We all are very blessed to have you as leading our college, so much appreciated. I will remind everyone on the call that you can use the chat feature to ask questions. If you have questions for any of our speakers, you can enter those, and we will have a brief time at the end to try to answer some of those questions. And with that, I'm going to turn this over to our engineering ambassadors for a little bit of trivia.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I hope you are all doing well today. My name is Noha Zayan. I'm a sophomore majoring in chemical engineering with a concentration in sustainable engineering, energy, and the environment. And I'm also minoring in Spanish. And aside from being an engineering ambassador, I'm also involved in the planning of the Krispy Kreme Challenge, which is, I'm sure you all know about, tradition that's really popular on campus. So I'm really excited to be a part of that. And I also have Shannon with me, so I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Shannon Pennell. I'm a junior studying electrical engineering with a minor in biological sciences. And my fun fact is that I do research in wearable devices with our ASSIST Center, which is one of the National Science Foundation engineering research centers that we heard about a little bit earlier. So we're going to get started playing a super fun trivia game. But before Noha go ahead and introduces our first question, we just want to direct you to go to that link at the bottom of your screen, that go.ncsu.edu/engineering trivia link. And that'll take you to a Google form where you can hit the next button, and then you'll be able to see the questions and interact and submit your answers so that we can have some fun today. So with that, I'll throw it over to Noah or Noha, excuse me, for our first question.
Awesome. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time to get there. But in the meantime, I'm going to start with that first question. So that first question asks, how many alumni are there from the College of Engineering? And your answer choices are 65,134, 69,265, 30,021, and then 4. So hopefully everyone, there's more than 4 people on this call, so hopefully nobody goes with that answer choice. But Shannon, do you have any idea of what you think it might be?
So if I were taking this test in perhaps a final, which is final exam week is coming soon, so this is good practice. Obviously 4, it's not 4, that's a freebie. But I would then maybe start doing some math. There's about 1,400 freshman engineers every year, give or take. So maybe think about how many years College of Engineering has been around, but it hasn't always been 1,400 per class. So you might have to do some adjustment there. So maybe some sort of fractional multiplier, start coming up with a formula. I would get out my calculator if it was me.
Yeah, that's a very engineering approach.
A true engineer. Yeah, absolutely. So maybe just a few more seconds on this question. All right, it's been about 1 minute and 30 seconds. So on to the second one. So this one, so just scroll down if you don't already see this question and it'll show up on the same form. And this question is, which engineering department has the most number of alumni? So the answer choices are civil, construction, and environmental engineering, and then mechanical and aerospace engineering, and then nuclear engineering, and then electrical and computer engineering. And if we're going based purely off of the number of like sections in each, it would be civil, construction, and environmental with that awesome new building they have. What do you think, Noha? What would be your kind of way you would approach this question?
I'm honestly kind of disappointed that chemical isn't on this list. Where are we at? But I'm not really sure. I'm trying to think out of my friends who, like, which major is the most out of everyone I know.
I would say electrical and computer is pretty big. We have some pretty big classes, but then again, mechanical and aerospace, they've got that giant building.
Yeah, so, I was gonna say mechanical maybe, but
then Fitzwillard is also huge. Have you been inside it?
I haven't yet. I'm really excited though.
It's so pretty. It's so pretty. I went in to scope out a class that I was supposed to have in there, but it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. And they have this awesome little deck that you could like sit on and do your homework. Just amazing.
I'm sure.
Okay. And then with that.
And for this section, we have one more question for you guys. And that question is going to be, what year was the NC State Engineering Foundation founded? And your options are going to be 1944, 1931, 2004, and 1993. So this one's kind of split. You got 2 that are earlier, 30s and 40s, and 2 that are more recent, 90s and early 2000s. So I don't know if there's a way to go about this one if you don't know
it. Something tells me it's not 2004. Yeah, I would eliminate that one just kind of right off the bat. But maybe go back to the formula you made for question 1. How many years did you say then? When did you? But then there could be more error there because what if, then you get both questions wrong. That would be kind of stressful. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
I don't know about 1993 either.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I'd throw that one out too.
Yeah, I think some of my friends' parents graduated before then. I'm not sure though. So you got kind of a 50-50 shot here if off of just pure guessing. I don't know. Well, we'll just have to keep going and see what happens. Okay, just a few more seconds on this last one. Go ahead and submit your answers and wrap everything up. And then I believe we'll be showing you the answers next. So we have a few, if we have some statistics of the answers that everyone put. So for the first one, it was 69,265 alumni from the College of Engineering. That is so many, and 60% of you got it right. So claps all around for that.
Congratulations, everyone. And then if we look at the second one, so the correct answer was electrical and computer engineering, right up Shannon's alley. But the majority of you guys seem to have said mechanical, which honestly is the answer I probably would have gone with too. So I understand where you're coming from. And it looks like about 24% had electrical. So to those 24%, you got it right. That's awesome.
And then for the third question, the one that was kind of split between those last two, 48.1% of you said that the answer was 1994, which is correct. So the Engineering Foundation has been around for a very long time for sure. 1994, not 1994, 1944. I'm so sorry. Misspoke there. There's a lot of numbers. Thank you for playing the trivia game with us. It was super fun. And with that, I think we'll hand it back over to Nelson Peeler for the rest of the program.
Yeah. So thank you to the ambassadors for those entertaining facts, and sounds like the audience did pretty well at answering the questions. So we'll have a little more trivia later, but for now we have a real treat. We have one of our outstanding young alumni who's agreed to join us today. Our young alumni speaker is Hunter Bomba. She received her bachelor's degree in biomedical engineering from NC State in 2017 and was a member of the first class to graduate with an undergraduate degree from the NC State UNC Joint Department of Biomedical Engineering. She's currently a PhD candidate in pharmaceutical sciences at the Eshelman School of Pharmacy at UNC Chapel Hill, researching stem cell therapy for the treatment of glioblastoma, a deadly brain cancer. She is an Eshelman Fellow, has published 14 peer-reviewed articles, and recently completed a large animal preclinical trial in collaboration with the NC State College of Veterinary Medicine. After graduation this spring, Hunter plans to pursue a career in clinical product development and translational medical research. She stayed connected to NC State and currently mentors graduate students and serves on the College of Engineering Young Alumni Advisory Board. So we're very happy to have her with us today. Hunter, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Nelson, and good morning, everybody. First and foremost, I just wanted to thank the College of Engineering for inviting me to speak today. NC State really holds a special place in my heart, and I was especially excited to take part in this year's virtual homecoming celebrations. When I was first approached to speak at today's homecoming event, I really started reminiscing on my 4 years at NC State. Being an out-of-state student, I was definitely nervous when I first set foot on campus. I grew up in rural Pennsylvania, so relocating to Raleigh was a pretty big deal for me. And I remember the first few weeks were really tough because not only was I new to this really huge campus of 30,000 plus students, but I was also new to North Carolina in general and didn't know really anybody. So as I started to acclimate to campus that first semester, I got involved and developed a really close circle of friends. Joining programs like Engineering Ambassadors, Grand Challenge Scholars, and the Biomedical Engineering Society, I wasn't quite expecting the members and advisors to leave such a lasting impact on me. However, the students, faculty, and staff that I met through these campus organizations are some of the most intelligent, humorous, and caring people I know. And I know all of the engineering ambassadors that are on this phone call with me can think of all the wonderful people in academic affairs. Brian Kaler always comes to my mind in Moving Mountains. I still use that phrase to this day. And I know that without a doubt, when you think of your time at NC State, there are a bunch of people who helped shape your experience on campus. Being a part of smaller communities on campus really helped me appreciate all that NC State has to offer. And with that, North Carolina and NC State really became home for me for those couple of years and to this day. So after graduation, my appreciation for NC State continued to grow. And while I may be at the light blue school that shall not be named, I am still a member of the Wolfpack through thick and thin. Thinking back on the opportunities that I had at NC State, I really wanted to make certain that the future engineering classes had the same, if not better, experiences than I did. So I thought to myself, what better way to ensure that than get involved on campus again? So I started off by volunteering for Freshman Engineering Design Day. And if you're an alumni and remember this day as a first-year student, it's full of stress over your first big college engineering project and excitement to socialize and compete with your peers, with the slight undertone of anticipation for the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday. Volunteering for Freshman Engineering Design Day has been a great experience. Not only do you get to enjoy on campus and reconnect with fellow students and faculty, but you also get to be humbled by the incredible products and designs that these students are creating. And I swear the engineering class gets smarter and smarter each year, and they never fail to amaze me. More recently, I joined the College of Engineering's Young Alumni Advisory Board. And if you aren't familiar with this group, we are 27 engineering alumni who support the Engineering Foundation by organizing events and participating in raising funds for the College of Engineering. For the past 2 years, I've served on the board's College Relations Committee, and it has been an incredibly fulfilling experience for me. Helping alumni stay connected to a place they too once called home brings everyone together and is a really great networking opportunity. There's a really strong catharsis that also occurs when you put a bunch of engineers together in a room. You start to think about all of the struggles of your hardest classes, that big sigh of relief when your code finally runs, the long hours and all-nighters in the library, and that feeling of pride and accomplishment that you had on graduation day. In addition to helping alumni share their memories and find ways to continue to stay involved with NC State, the board also encourages alumni to donate financially where they can. The financial stress of college for me was significantly reduced due to all of the scholarships that NC State had available. And while I for certain am far from financial prosperity as a graduate student, donating to the university over the past few years has been really important to me. Like I said, I want future students to have access to the same scholarships, fellowships, and academic programs that I did, and that helped shape my experience at NC State. So while my small donation may seem insignificant, if we all do this, it adds up, and it really leaves me with a sense of Wolfpack pride and know that I'm helping to improve NC State for the future. And just 2 weeks ago, my fiance and I drove through campus and we're amazed at how much has changed since we graduated. The amount of time and energy that has gone into improving campus is so heartwarming, but it also makes me slightly jealous. The upcoming classes are going to enjoy a continually improving campus. And I don't know about you all, but I seriously cannot wait to go check out Fitzwater Hall, all the D.H. Hill renovations, the Carmichael renovations, and everything else that's been going on campus. So if you're in the Raleigh area and have time, I highly encourage you all to take a quick drive through campus and check out everything that's changed since you were last there. NC State truly gets better every year, and we should all be proud to be alumni of this great university. I also encourage you all to share your favorite memories of NC State during Red and White Week. If you're looking to get involved on campus, be that as a current student or alumnus, feel free to reach out to me or the Young Alumni Advisory Board. We're happy to share the different ways that you can get involved and help continue to make NC State a fantastic university. And with that, I hope you all have a fantastic afternoon, and I'll turn it back over to Nelson. Go Wolfpack.
Hunter, thank you so much for being with us today and for representing the university in such a fabulous manner, and certainly for your support of the College of Engineering. We're all really proud of you. With that, I want to remind everybody once again to enter your questions if you have them. Question and answer will be coming up soon. And I'm going to ask the I'm going to ask the engineering ambassadors to lead us through some more trivia.
Yeah. Hey guys, good morning. I guess it's 11:30, so it's like almost good afternoon in a sense, but I'm going to help lead through the second part of the trivia along with my coworker, Maddie. So let me just introduce myself real quick. My name's Avni Shah. I'm a senior here in computer science with minors in criminology and philosophy. I'm heavily involved with engineering programs, so I am part of the engineering ambassador team with all these lovely people that you've met so far. And I'm also a team leader for the engineering career fair that the dean was talking about earlier. So I spend a lot of time working on that in my spare time. And I'm going to pass it to Maddie to introduce herself now.
Hi, everybody. My name is Maddie Mall. I am a fifth-year senior studying chemical engineering with a minor in Spanish. And like Noha, I've been really involved with the Krispy Kreme Challenge and the engineering ambassadors during my time at NC State. So I'm really excited to be here with you all today and walk through a few more trivia questions. I'll just quickly remind you that it's going to be the same link that we used earlier. So you can just go back to the same go.ncsu.edu/engineering trivia, and we'll go ahead and get started. So Avni, what's our first question for this round?
So our first question is, what is the total of the engineering endowment? And the answer choices that you guys have are 180.9 million, 90.4 million, 18 million, and 140.3 million. So a little bit about the engineering endowment. A little fun fact is that close to the end of the year, every year, there's an endowment dinner that's held, usually in person. And I remember in 2019 when we had the dinner, we all went to the Tally Ballroom and had a 3-course meal with a very, very yummy chocolate pie at the end. And the speaker was one of our engineering ambassador coworkers, actually. So that was really cool. And the best part about it was the students actually got to meet the donors that helped them with these scholarships that let them go through college. And so that was probably really cool for me. And I feel like because there is such a fancy dinner, it must be a good amount of money that is in the endowment fund.
If they gave you chocolate pie, you know it has to be a good amount of money. The endowment has to be worth a lot.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm guessing it's on the upper end, that 140.3 or that 180.9 million. What about you, Maddie?
We've got quite a range here from the 18 million all the way up to the 180, but I think I'd have to agree with you. If you're eating a fancy dinner and getting pie during it probably has to be a little bit bigger. So I think I'd lean towards the upper end too, but I guess we'll have to wait and see for the final answer here in a few minutes. So
we'll give you a couple more seconds and then move on to the second question of this portion.
Awesome. So the next question is going to be, how many students received undergraduate scholarship or graduate fellowship support from private philanthropy to the College of Engineering last academic year, so the year of 2019-2020? And your options are 300, 694, 131, and 534. So what are you thinking, Avni? That's kind of a big range too.
I would also have to say that it's probably closer to that upper end. I feel like we have more than 130 students that end up receiving scholarships. And I would say it's more than 300 too. At least I would like to hope so. Personally, as a student, I would like to hope that more than 300 students get undergraduate scholarships or graduate fellowships. So I'm going to say I'm between 534 and 694 personally.
I'd probably have to agree with you. I think we've probably got a lot of students that are really thankful for that assistance and really rely on that. So like you, I think I'd hope that it's a little bit on the higher end there too. All right, we'll give you just a few more seconds to maybe think about that answer. Maybe you're Googling. I'm not sure if that's allowed, but hopefully not. All right. Avni, you want to do the last question?
Yeah. So our last question is, in what department was the student who created the first Wolfpack mascot? And your options are electrical engineering, nuclear engineering, civil engineering, and mechanical engineering. So a little bit of fun facts about the first Wolfpack mascot. It was actually a robot costume, and 2 people operated it, with one person in the front being the robot and another person behind that would hold a remote control out so that they would be able to control the robot, which I thought was really interesting personally, because we're the Wolfpack, you know, you wouldn't think that we would have a robot as our first mascot. So a little bit of a fun fact there. Maybe that'll help you decide what you would put as your choice. I mean, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, those feel like robotic kind of engineering majors compared to nuclear and civil. In my mind, at least, I'm a computer science, so we are also sometimes involved in the robotics, I guess. And in the past, we've also had a live Timberwolf as one of our mascots that would come in on games and stuff. Actually, in the 1960s, the student government sold 25-cent shares to purchase a Timberwolf. Yeah.
I didn't know those fun facts, Avni. That's cool that you shared them with us.
We actually didn't have a mascot for 36 years. Or so until at least. So when they first started asking for a mascot, we didn't have one for 36 years. The chancellor at the time didn't want us to have a mascot. And when we did get a mascot, it was to the disapproval of the chancellor.
Oh no. Well, I think it's been a lot of fun for our students since then. And, you know, if you've seen the news recently, we've definitely missed Tuffy too. So may he rest in peace. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with answering some of these questions. Avni, you want to do the first one?
Yeah, the correct answer for the total of the engineering endowment was 180.9 million, which actually the most common answer at 44% of people said it was 140.3 million. So glad to say it is higher than what you guys thought, and that is more money that is going out to student education and student success.
All right, so for the next question, the answer was 694 students receive aid from the private philanthropy to the College of Engineering. And so about 38% of you got that correct. I guess you guys are slacking a little bit on this set of questions compared to the first set. About 47% of you thought it was 534. So again, we're happy to say it's a little higher than that. You guys might be underestimating us just a little bit.
And for our last question, you guys did get the majority for this one. Mechanical engineering was the first department that created the first, or was the student that was in the department that created the first Wolfpack mascot. And 51.3% of you guys said that mechanical engineering was the correct answer. So, yay. I'm going to pass it over to Griffin, I believe, to start on the Q&A portion of the event.
Sure. Thank you so much. Louie, I think to get us started, we have some questions popping up in the chat about the increase in female undergraduate enrollment since the 1970s. Looks like someone was quick on Google and thinks it's around 25.3% of the fall 2018 enrollment. So I wondered if you could speak a little bit to what you think is contributing to the rise of females in the undergraduate population, if there's anything you want to share on that topic in the graduate population as well.
Sure. Thanks, Griffin. Well, first of all, I think, and it depends, but some of our alumni, as the trivia has mentioned, we have alumni that have gone back a long ways. And there's some of our alumni that are probably going to remember a time when there were very few women in the college. So even numbers like 25%, 1 out of 4, seem significantly higher. That number is a 2018 number, Griffin. It turns out that the incoming class this last year, about 1/3 of the students were women applicants. So it keeps moving up. It does vary by disciplines, as some of our ambassadors can acknowledge, but areas like biomedical engineering, for example, have a significant number of women students. I think for me, what has influenced this probably the most has been the increase in the number of women faculty that we have in the college. When I arrived, there were very, very few. And in fact, we had some departments that did not have any women tenured or tenure track faculty. And it was pretty clear that was, we were really missing out significantly in that. There was a time when law schools and medical schools didn't have a lot of women students and faculty and as engineering, but you go to a medical school today, you probably have as many or more women there as you have men, law school, and there isn't any reason why engineering shouldn't be that way as well. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the goal here, if there is a goal, is that we should have as many women students in engineering as we have men, as many women faculty in engineering as we have men. So we're getting there. But I think the single biggest thing I think that has influenced this is the fact that we have a significantly higher number of women faculty in our college. People talk about role models, and that's an important phrase, but I think it's even stronger than that. I think it's the idea of an existence proof. I think you really need to see somebody, and the students could help me out with it. You need to see somebody that you can identify with, that you can say, that's me, or that's the person that I can be. And I think we have more and more of that in our college today. I have to think that that's helping us move in that direction, Griffin.
Great. Thank you, Louie. I'm going to encourage people. We still have a few more minutes here. I'm continuing to watch the chat. But in the meantime, Louie, maybe you can speak to another important change, which is 8 of our 9 departments coming together on Centennial. It's not just about the building that we're excited about, but maybe you could speak to what that means for the college to have us all together, or most of us, I should say.
Yeah, no. Well, I appreciate that. We talk about the buildings, right? We talk about the buildings, and the buildings are the bricks and mortar, but really it's the people. I spent part of my career at the National Science Foundation in Washington, and this is an organization that basically supports research and education in science and engineering across the country, and it sums up what it does very succinctly. It's people, ideas, and tools. It all starts with the people. It's our ability to attract and retain the very best faculty and students. I mean, I can't tell you how proud I am of our student body. I mean, it's just incredibly outstanding. The students that are helping us and working with us today, each and every one of you, I want to know how proud I am of you and what you're doing. And I hope that what you have seen is that we've worked hard to give you the platform from which you could just take off in any direction that you want. There's a significant number of engineering students that move into medical schools. Most of the patent attorneys in this country are engineers. And the reality is it doesn't matter where you go. If you have an engineering degree, you never stop being an engineer. So we are not going to have the faculty that we have and attract the students that we have if we don't have the infrastructure that allows them to be successful. That's what these buildings are and everything we have inside. You're not going to be a world-class college of engineering if you don't have world-class facilities. Also, you notice that there's not a single engineering building that holds only one department, and that's very purposeful. Those of you that are in mechanical and aerospace, our students know that that's with biomedical engineering, and you have materials with chemical engineering and electrical with computer science. There's a synergy there because the world of engineering is not necessarily in the disciplines. It's at the intersection of engineering and medicine and the life sciences. Now, when you have everybody together on one campus like this, how do we communicate? Well, we communicate because of our interactions. Faculty, just like students, you interact, you form your groups, you talk about ideas. 1 + 1 becomes much greater than 2. And that is really what's happened. Just having the first buildings on Centennial and moving the first faculty there already started that. the engineering research centers like the Assist Center, for example. Shannon, you mentioned that you're working with the Assist Center, for example. That is a convergence of electrical and mechanical and textiles, for that matter, and medicine. The same thing with a lot of the work what they're doing. The field of biomedical engineering, which is now a field, is really the convergence of engineering and medicine and the life sciences. That's what this does for us. So when we interact with the alumni that are on this call and talk about support for Fitzwillard, do understand this is a lot more than bricks and mortar. This is what really enables our faculty to be who they are and to excel, and our students to really go beyond even their own aspirations. It's the foundation for what we do.
Great. Thank you, Louie. That's quite a vibrant picture of all of these undergraduates and faculty interacting on Centennial. We have another question about which department has the largest undergraduate enrollment. And I wondered if you could speak to that and maybe what trends we see in how and why students select the department they want to stay in.
Well, I don't know. I should know, but I don't know for sure. My guess is it's either mechanical and aerospace or possibly computer science or electrical and computer engineering. You know, a lot of it has to do with what students see and market demand. But I think to really answer your question, some of the engineering fields tend to be areas that are known more, that people turn to hear about or know more about as you're younger, whatever, than others. For example, some of our engineering fields are what I call discovery fields. A field like material science and engineering, which is a tremendous field and it's very compelling. It's not something that people tend to hear about too much until they actually arrive at the university. The same thing happens to some degree with industrial and systems engineering. Again, it depends a lot upon the background that a student has and what they're exposed to. Now, one of the things that we've tried to do, these engineering summer camps that we have, and a number of our students and our alumni help us with these. We have summer camps for high school students, middle school, elementary, pre-K, if you believe that, students who are deaf. This is all around the state. Part of that is also to infuse the idea of what engineering is and what these disciplines are early on, right? And we've done this long enough to where we're seeing many of the students that have been in those programs come to the college with a better understanding of what not only mechanical may be, but also what electrical, what industrial, what material science, what chemical engineering may be. So I think that's where you see some of that dynamic. I think the bottom line is all of our engineering disciplines are based off of the same platform. You specialize and do things in different ways, but there's no one choice that's necessarily better than the other. The question is, what is the best fit? But I think some of that difference is that for example, I think many young folks, will think about mechanical as something that they know what that is. I see automobiles, I see planes, I see this and that, and that's true. But the reality is there's a lot of engineering fields that contribute to that. If you go to Boeing, you're going to find mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, computer scientists, industrial engineers, all working in different aspects of aerospace and aircraft and so on. So you can get into these areas from many, many different platforms.
Great. Thank you, Dean Louie. It's great to think of all the careers that are being launched from our campus and from our college. I want to remind people that we can have questions directed at students or our young alumni, and just give another few seconds to see if anything is going to pop into the chat.
Griffin, can I just take a second? I want to thank all of the ambassadors that are on here that are working with us today, and everybody's contributions to this, because at the end of the day, I'm sharing our perspectives, but I want you to know that what we do every day is enhanced by our students. They are the ones, you are the ones that continue to challenge us in ways that we really appreciate. And you make us a better place each and every day. When you wonder why people have an academic career, it's because we have a chance to be students forever, right? And so you're the ones that provide us a tremendous amount of that energy. We hope, I'm delighted to see that some of you are considering graduate school. And, our hope is that everybody walks into this college, even in the first year, and sees a very high ceiling, that you understand that a research extensive College of Engineering provides a whole plethora of opportunities. And, has been pointed out many things that go beyond the classroom. So again, we have a lot that we do in the experience here that we've tried to work on very hard so that you walk out of this college. And I hope our alumni who are on this call understand that we've tried to contribute to your careers by making this as rich and expansive as possible. Engineering is a very, very exciting career. A lot of us are envious of those that are going out into the field now, but at the same time, we're very glad that we're able to contribute to that.
Thank you, Louie. The students are why we're here. I think all of us agree. I'm going to send it back over to Nelson Peeler and have us wrap up now.
Thank you, Griffin. I'll wrap us up and just with my thanks to all of our presenters today. I hope that everyone got out of it similar to what I did, which is a fantastic update about great things going on at the university, even during very difficult times. Hearing from some of our exceptional students and young alum, it's very encouraging to the direction that the university and the college is going. So I hope that everyone on the call was able to take that away today. And I think we had a pretty exciting homecoming meeting here today, even though, no barbecue and no outdoor gatherings amongst each other. So to look forward to our next meeting being back together on campus where we can, fellowship with each other a little bit and see the exciting things in person that are going on at the university. I would also like to thank all the folks who joined today and for your ongoing support of the college. I hope you learned some fun facts and saw some exciting things about the college's direction today. And with that, I'll just again offer my thanks. Encourage you to come out and support the Wolfpack this weekend if you can. If not, you can certainly do it from home and enjoy homecoming. Thank you all.